Get off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa every weekday morning on KCAA, NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio Station, AM 1050, FM 106.5. Home to the Asian Oprah, number one talk in the IE. Thank you very much. And streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, Tiki Live, Rumble, Podchaser, Spreaker, Streaker, and more. I have been here for the past 718 consecutive weeks. But who's counting? And I am a show about hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal, and no K words here on the show. Instead, I want you to tune in and not wake up with the headlines, which will give you a case of the 4 A's: angry, aggravated, anxious, and afraid. I want you to feel amazing. So I have topics and guests for the last over 13 years to bring you there, and today is absolutely no exception. I'm very, very excited to get to know and bring you someone who is a pioneer. Even though she looks #ageless like me, I'm actually surprised. We'll find out why I said that, but wow. I thought I was ageless, but you definitely give me a run for my money. My Tuesday talent guest today has become a globally acclaimed award-winning performer, celebrated for her pioneering achievements and unwavering advocacy for equal rights in the arts. Her name is Jennifer Jones, and her groundbreaking journey as the first African-American Rockette has captivated audience for decades, and she remains a symbol of resilience and determination. She's now also officially part of This Joint is Jumping exhibit, a tribute to Black artists, singers, actors, writers, and sports figures, opening February 19th at the fabulous Hollywood Museum. You'll remember the director, Denzel Donegan, being a guest on my show several times, honoring Black History Month. She'll be showcased with other talents such as Whitney Houston, Lena Horne, Denzel Washington, Ella Fitzgerald, Will Smith, Todd Bridges, the Pointer Sisters, Dionne Warwick, Forrest Whitaker, Wesley Snipes. Oh, I interviewed him too. Eddie Murphy, Oprah Winfrey, who you know is my honorable moniker. I was introduced to Oprah as the Asian Oprah. Diana Ross and Richard Pryor. Please welcome to my studio, Jennifer Jones. Hold on one second. It's coming here.
Good morning, good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me on your show. I'm honored and blessed to be here.
Oh, and the feeling is mutual. I didn't tell you because, I'd like to keep it fresh. I don't do pre-interviews. You knew that. But we start every show as an alternative to talking about the headlines with breakfast. So sorry, I'm not sending to the East Coast some breakfast now, but we are going to take a bite of my gratitude sandwich. So what is that? Top of the bun. We look around us. What are we grateful for? And then bottom of the bun, we model for you before you go to bed tonight, instead of thinking about who done me wrong, what did I didn't do right, or what I didn't get done, which is a sure formula for not being able to fall asleep easily. I want you to think about gratitude for yourself. What do you appreciate and like about yourself? so that we're not looking for love in all the wrong places. So that's what we're going to do first. I'll start to give you a hint. It's nice. It's not long, but it's just a way that I like to start the show. I am grateful for Harlan, who's my favorite publicist, who brings me people like Jennifer that I'm so delighted to meet people. And he's beloved by so many. A lot of my iconic TV, half of the cast at Happy Days, Dawn Wells, Marianne from Gilligan's Island became a good friend of mine thanks to Harlan, and now bringing Jennifer Jones here. So I'm grateful for Harlan Ball. What are you grateful for?
That is beautiful. After battling colorectal cancer, I am grateful just to wake up every single morning, and being able to spread kindness throughout the world, and passion, and hopefully enlightening people to like follow their gift and passion, and encouraging them to do so. That is what I am grateful for every morning. I open my eyes and I just thank the Lord that I am here on this earth and I'm able to spread kindness and encouragement.
Beautiful, beautiful. I'm grateful for technology. Hashtag COVID silver lining. I'm allowed to bring my studio to my living room. For phones, I got to speak with my older daughter who's in San Francisco. There's so many ways in which technology has been able to bring us closer together. There were days when the only way to do that was with a telegram. So I am truly grateful for the advancements of technology, AI included. One more from you.
I am grateful to have my friends and my family and the team that I've built to surround me to help spread my gifts throughout the world, such as Harlan and my manager, Jerome Brooks. I just feel that my story as the first African-American Rockette was pushed under the rug, and so many people were asking about it. And I'm happy to bring this out into the light. And I'm so thankful that my story is an encouragement and an inspiration to others to follow their own passions.
And just in case it happens, I just muted. I'm grateful for fire alarm testing that may interrupt us, but hey, 88% happy, 88% perfect. Life happens and we just roll with it. So just giving a little warning, and I appreciate your understanding of all that, those who are watching and listening live right now. All right, let's go to the bottom of the button. So this is weightlifting for self-love, self-acceptance, self-esteem. It's my BS, my belief system that good mental health starts with that sense of self that is positive. And a lot of us, thanks to my honorable moniker, Oprah, are talking about good mental health. It's no longer a stigma to say I'm not feeling well, but a lot of us are going outside of ourselves to feel better. In fact, just had an interview. I was interviewed by a Gen Z, and I spoke about this whole, who likes me, literally on social media, measuring your worth for the number of likes, which is a dangerous way to define yourself. So this part of the breakfast sandwich is to, what do you like about yourself? That's an important question. So I'll start and say, I like that I am somewhat adaptable, somewhat flexible. Thank you for the heart on that one. I know that I'm not perfect, and it's okay. I used to want to be perfect, which is a dis-ease with what you are. And every one of us is one of a kind, wonderful, but not perfect. So I appreciate that I know that, and it gets to be part of my brand.
Something that I like about me is that I found that I am resilient. Throughout life's challenges that would come to me, early in life, I would really let it get to me. And then the evolution started that I would give one day to just blame everyone and everything and my circumstances. And then the next day I would really have to pull myself up by the bootstraps and get everything done. And now I find, now later in life that I am more resilient and I can tackle any challenge or issue that comes with me that without giving myself that day. I just take time to sit with it and I figure out how to resolve it.
That is beautiful. And we're never going to get it wrong and we're never going to get it done. Words from Abraham Hicks' Law of Attraction that I love.
Yes.
And I am a sister in that what you're saying right now. And I'm really glad to have someone help me preach to the choir. And that's it for breakfast. We're going to keep it short because there's so much to cover today with your incredible life so far. But thank you all for joining us for breakfast. I don't see anything in the cashew gallery, but I know that you're speaking to people as you're driving. Please don't chat while you're driving. I am on now, back to my 8 a.m. drive time to work. So please do continue to have breakfast with me every weekday morning. With or without me, and make it a good life habit, a hashtag Blisscipline for you every day. And I promise you'll sandwich your day in the most positive way. Thanks for joining us for breakfast. And now for the topic of the day. It is Jennifer Jones, first African American Rockette to I found a clip. Yes, I found a clip. And hopefully I won't get any copyright strikes, but I'm going to pull it up in a bit to show that was an incredible halftime at that Super Bowl where you made your debut. So, what I'd like, did you know when you were a kid that this is what you would be doing or being? That would be my first question.
As a child growing up, I always knew that I wanted to dance on stage and walk out of a backstage door. My big dream was to be on Broadway. My parents were big Broadway goers. They would see the latest and greatest shows with Ben Vereen and Pippin, Jesus Christ Superstar, Hair. And when The Wiz came to Broadway and was kid friendly, my parents and I took my sister and I to see it 5 times. And each time it was more solidified in me that that's what I wanted to do on that stage, what Stephanie Mills was doing, Mabel King, Andre DeShields. And then I wanted to walk out of the backstage door because we would wait for their autographs. So at a young age, I knew that's what I wanted to do.
That's awesome. And so the dance, how did that happen?
My parents always had my sister and I involved in some type of after-school activity, whether it was dance classes, gymnastics, baton twirling, horseback riding, and my love just fell into dance.
That's great. So how old were you when you started dancing?
Ooh, I think I was about 7 years old when I started.
Wow, that's great. And you grew up where?
I was born in Newark, New Jersey. I did some schooling in Hillside, but most of my elementary and college years was in Randolph, New Jersey.
Okay. And then how did the Rockettes happen?
Oh, so when I was 19 years old, I started going into New York to learn the ropes and the business and the entertainment business, waiting for my big Broadway break. There was a trades publication that came out every Thursday called The Backstage that had a list of auditions. My friends and I were going through the auditions. I saw the Rockette audition, blew by it. My friend said, Jennifer, you should go to this Rockette audition. You would make a perfect Rockette. I said, I don't know. But being very green and nervous at auditions, very intimidated, that morning, I decided to wake up and I went to the audition at Radio City. And the line of women wrapped around the music hall where they were so put together with their makeup, their hair. I got at the end of the line and I said, they are never going to pick me. I did not even see another Black woman on the line. And I thought about leaving numerous times. And I thought I can make my favorite jazz class if I leave right now. And my inner voice said, stay. And I did. And if I did not stay on that audition line, I never would have made it to the Rockette line.
Wow. Wow. Now, let's put the moose on the table. This is my Canadian expression. I was born in Canada. Of let's put the moose on the table is let's talk about the elephant in the room. All right. So a couple levels of that. One, did you grow up in a predominantly homogenous cultural, neighborhood? Did you, when did you discover sort of that you were different? If you felt that way at all? I mean, obviously being the first African-American Rockette is certainly evidence of that. I grew up in a largely German town in Kitchener-Waterloo, Ontario, and my childhood wish was, can I just look like everyone else? Right. So diversity was not a good thing. So tell me about your experience with that.
Being born in Newark and having some early rearing in Hillside was mostly a Black community. I am biracial. My parents are in an interracial marriage. My mother is white, my father is Black, and they got married in 1965. And being married to having an interracial marriage was not even legal in the entire United States until 1967. And that was Loving versus Virginia, who changed that law. So my parents were kind of trailblazers themselves. After moving from Hillside, we moved to Randolph, which was mostly a white community. My older sister felt more racism and prejudice, and she kind of shielded me from that. So I was somewhat naive to some of the things that she experienced. But being apart, having an older sister to help me through those things, I think was kind of a setup for my career and helping me persevere some of the challenges that I would experience later in life.
So at home, was there a sit down of, look, you may be seen as different in not a good way, and this is how you navigate that? Or was it by action watching?
My parents never sat my sisters and I down. We never had a conversation. We would go over to my mother's house and have all of our relatives and all of my cousins there. It was normal. We'd go over to my father's family, all of my grandparents and all of my cousins. It was normal there. So I was kind of brought up feeling normal in both atmospheres, both environments.
Mm-hmm. Great. If you've just tuned in and wondering what's going on in studio today, you are tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News, the station that leaves no listener behind. I want to say hello to John Cesar. This is heaven to my eyes, he says. Two beautiful soul sisters with kind hearts. Thank you so much, John. Thanks for tuning in. We are live right now on my YouTube TV channel, where if you free subscribe and give me the finger, this one, not the other one, you'll get an alert every weekday morning for this show about hope and happiness and great guests like this morning. Jennifer Jones is here. She is sort of taking us through her life. She is the first Rockette, first African-American Rockette that made her debut at Super Bowl XXII back in 1988. And she doesn't look it because she's #ageless, but we're having a great discussion here. If you have any questions for her, since we are live right now, please do put it in the chat, unless you're driving. If you're listening to this later on my NBC News radio channel, wait till you get somewhere safe before you start weighing in. But Jennifer Jones, okay, so you make the Rockettes, and this is the second moose on the table. Did anyone ever say to you, well, you were only chosen because they got the, even though 88 was pretty early to get the message about we want to value diversity, which I got a lot as a model because I'm not tall enough really to be a traditional model. So I unfortunately heard rumors that the only reason why I was a model or chosen in the Miss Hawaiian Tropic pageant or the Miss Hamilton pageant was because I was not white. So there's the moose on the table. Talk to me about that.
Yes, absolutely. There was at least one person that said it to my face that I was only chosen because I was Black. Not that I was talented enough, not that I was, looked like a Rockette, that I was chosen because I was Black. And it was the PR person who was head of Radio City. And I talk about this in my book. And she pulled me aside right before the Super Bowl halftime show. And she said, I was lucky to be there. Nobody cares about me. Nobody cares about my story. I'm old news. And that I'm just lucky to be there. And I'm 20 years old. And I took that to heart. And I thought she was right. I thought nobody cared. And I carried those words around with me for so long into situations I never should have been in, relationships I've never should have been in, until it took years of peeling back the onion and knowing that my footprint and what I did really does matter in the world today.
Wow, that is really unfortunate. I'm super sorry that happened to you. I almost want to take names to, so to do something about that. But if you could hold on. I'm sorry, I'm live on a show right now. I really didn't think anybody was going to be knocking. So I am going to take a quick break to take care of this because it is the fire department. But we're going to be right back with more of Jennifer Jones on Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living
with Dr. Marissa.
Well, she has been dubbed the Asian Oprah, and she just wants all of us to be happy.
Dr. Marissa, aka the Asian Oprah, says the most important thing you can choose is choosing to be happy.
You are tuned into my weekly talk radio TV show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa.
That's the idea for Dr. Marissa Pay's new book called 8 Ways to Be Happy.
Many of us say, I am my own worst critic. Nobody's harder on me than I am. And my response to that is, stop it! Why are you doing that to yourself? You have to be your biggest fan, because if you can't at the end of the day say, I did a good job, who is? We don't have to constantly be angry at the things that are wrong. Why don't we choose to be happy about things that are right? We have the choice. That's our muscle. And life is so amazing if we can see it.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
I just love my life right now. You can hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, I have to practice what I teach. The name of my show is. Anyways, we did try to mitigate this, but obviously it didn't work. But yeah, we just took a break, a forced break, but that's okay. We don't have to do station ID in the middle anymore. And I'm so delighted to have here in studio Jennifer Jones, the first African American Rockette, to start her journey in this world that doesn't always value diversity. We're seeing it now again. But I think I'm so delighted that she's able to share both her journey, not just as the first Rockette, but man, she's been through some life challenges. She's the kind of person that I love to have on the show who takes challenges and not just faces them or complains about them, but actually uses that as a platform to help us get through things and understand things more. And that's why I am giving her, excuse me, Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award. And not everybody gets that award. So I did want to say xie, which is Mandarin for thank you. I know you thought I was Swedish, but thank you. And I love the way she's laughing, as you can tell, because laughter is my favorite sound in life. It's cardio for your soul. And my husband told me I was not funny pretty much the whole marriage. So the thing about divorce is I get to own my funny. All right, let's get back to you. So I'm horrified at the message that your the head of PR said to you. It is not true. It did give you a chance to work out your own BS belief systems about who you really are. You're beautiful. You were chosen to be a Rockette because of all of those requirements. Tall. How tall are you?
5'8.5".
Yeah, you're tall. At my 5'3", and you kicked beautifully. And I'm gonna, as you speak, I'm gonna go pick up that segment to show, because it really is spectacular. That whole halftime show with all those grand pianos on the field. I mean, wow, what was that like? Just being part of that?
Oh, it was so amazing. Performing at Jack Murphy Stadium, not only performing for the Super Bowl with all of the seats filled, but it was televised on top of that. And there were 44 Rockettes, since it was 1988, which equals 88 legs, 88 pianos, and a piano has 88 keys. And it was produced by Radio City Music Hall, and it was just a phenomenal experience. And what a great way to usher in and open the doors for other Black women to perform as Radio City Rockettes on such a grand scale. It was a highlight of my career that I could never have imagined that it could be so wonderful.
Yes. I'm going to play this thank you courtesy of JM49, who did I know I'll get a copyright strike if I do the CBS one. But this particular showing of it shows the spectacular part of the Rockettes, as well as and I'm just gonna fast forward here. Here we go. I love technology. I don't know if you can hear him yet, but this is a broadcaster here. Can you hear that?
Yes.
Awesome.
Place of the nation, Radio City Music Hall proudly presents us for celebration for 1988. Something grand.
Look at that. That's like crazy.
We're all in that little box right there. We're all holding up a little key in that little box.
Wow.
Oh, and I've had some of the piano players contact me through social media, and they remember this day. And there was a piano player directly behind me who lives in Los Angeles now. And he said, I remember you. I remember we had this moment of looking at each other through my cramp roll turn, which was amazing.
So incredible. Okay, I'm going to fast forward now.
Yes.
Like, this is the piano part, which is great, but I'm going to get to the Rockettes. This is the part I showed on my social media.
Yes.
Look at that. I love tap dance the most.
Oh, and that was the first time that I had been measured for costumes at 20 years old, being fitted perfectly. It was truly an experience.
And I kept looking. I'm like, I don't know. I don't see her. I don't see her. I don't see her. And then I was like, yeah, there she is. Coming up.
Yes.
What do you feel now watching this?
Oh, I can't believe it has been this long. It feels like it was just yesterday. I remember running out to that field like that, preparing for the kick line. Yeah, I'm coming up here.
There we go.
There
Right there.
Yes.
Yay! Wow. I'm
so amazing. It felt like home, and it felt like I was supposed to be there. That's what I wanted to do with my life, and I wanted to dance. I wanted to dance big. I wanted to dance on a grand stage, and I got to live out my passion.
That is truly, I'm there with you. Like, I feel, I've got like chills. It's just amazing.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh.
Well, I'm really, do you come up again? Or
I come up at the very end in the kick
Well,
line. You'll see me at the end.
We'll stop that now then. Yeah. But I am just like so. That is so cool to have been part of that. And then now that you told me what she said before you went on, I can't, good for you that you just sort of talk to the hand right now. I'm in my moment.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No one, no matter what anyone says, no one is allowed to steal your dream. No one is allowed to take that away from you. Their words, their actions, you have to keep going forward and knowing in your whole being that you're supposed to be there. And this is what you're supposed to be doing in life.
I don't wish ill on people because everybody does the best that they can with the time they have and the resources. And obviously she did not, or he did not have the resources at the time to be a little more, little less ignorant. I will say that. Are they still around? Because if they had done that today.
Right. No. And she is not around, but with great change, and the Rockettes at that time they started in 1925 and I was hired in 1987. With great change comes resistance. And there were people in the organization that, of course, I just said they were clear that they did not want me there. And there were ladies on the line who did not want me there. But I do have to say that Setsuko Marahashi was the first Asian Rockette, and she was hired in 1985. And when I walked into the rehearsal hall in 1987, she came up to me and she said, I am the first Asian Rockette. You are the first Black Rockette. And she wanted to solidify that in me, to know that we are making a difference. And there will be challenges that come up to us and for us. And we are making a difference for the line for the future generations.
Hashtag Asian pride.
Yes.
For sure. Sure. Maybe for Asian History Month, I'll, if you still have contact with her, I'd love to have have you both back. And maybe with that piano player too.
Yes.
love true history, right? Not knocking the beautiful writing of fiction, but nonfiction is my favorite. And I love bringing that on the show. So, wow. Okay. Then after that, what happened with your career? Activism, and I wasn't sure what activism, but uh, bring me to that.
So I had my 15-year career at Radio City, and I went on to do Broadway. Right after that, I got to live out my childhood dream. And I was one of 3 Black women to be hired in the largest cast on Broadway at the time, to perform in our Tony Award-winning musical, 42nd Street, The Revival, which was amazing. And what I wanted to do was to open doors for other women to become Rockettes at Radio City Music Hall. And so during my tenure at the music hall, I was alone for about 4 or 5 years. And then they started integrating more of the line. So welcoming in more of the Black women who were coming in and wanting to be, of course, the best Rockette possible, and to perform on the iconic Radio City Music Hall stage.
That's great. I love that musical. Between trumpets, French horns, and tap dancing, those are my top 3 things. So what a beautiful thing. And then after that.
After my dancing career, I retired from dancing. And I talk about this in my memoir about having real life challenges. People sometimes think that, oh, she made it to Radio City Music Hall, the first African-American Rockette, she's got it made. But there are still life challenges that come with that. I was a single mom of 2 small children, and auditioning after dancing certainly does not pay the bills. So I had to get a job, a 9-to-5 job, and put food on the table and keep clothes on my children's back. And about my home situation and what that was like. And then I do delve into my battle with colorectal cancer.
Yes. So this is Becoming Spectacular, the rhythm of brilliance, first African-American Rockette, Jennifer Jones. That's your first book. And then you have a children's book, it looks like, which is Jennifer Jones on the Line, My Story of Becoming the First African-American Rockette. So you can still get these easily. Use my assistant Google. Just put in Becoming Spectacular or Jennifer Jones books, and you'll be able to get those and purchase those. Amazon and other places where you get books. So you got married, had children.
Yes.
Got divorced.
Yes. That was a very difficult divorce. So once that was all settled, I, moved closer to New York. I was still performing on Broadway. My mother was helping me. And then the 2008 big financial crisis happened, and I lost my house. So I talk about losing my home. And then I talk about where I went from there. And then I think my stresses from so much happening in my life came to cancer. I was holding all of my stress in my stomach, that I dealt with stage 3 colorectal cancer. And that was a big shock after being vegetarian over 25 years, active my entire life, and being a professional dancer. I was overcome with shame and embarrassment, and I did not tell my family for a month.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, and I'm so sorry about that as well. And I can't even imagine. And it's funny. I was just talking about this on Mental Health Matters Mondays yesterday about, stress is 100% related to physical ailments,
Yeah.
So you learned that the hard way.
Yes, absolutely. Um, and part of go and part of the reason why I'm such an advocate for mental health and having it linked to cancer. I was seeing initially, I saw a doctor who I looked around his office and I was just another vacation for his family. He really did not take my thoughts or my feelings into consideration. And my family, once I told them, they told me I immediately had to go to Memorial Sloan Kettering. I was met by an almost all female team, and when I met them, that was half my battle. Just being part of a team that was comforting, that's saying, we've got this, we've got you, we're going to do everything we can. That was half mental and half like reassuring that I can get through this. And I did 8 rounds of chemotherapy. Then I did surgery. And then in January of 2019, I was deemed cancer free.
And that's kind of a miracle, because stage 3 is nothing to be laughed at. It's serious. I had Chris Warwick on. He's also he was stage 3. Diet was his solution. So, kudos on you. Kudos to your family support and the team support. When you were talking about your first doctor and the way that you framed that, it reminded me of a joke. This is not all doctors, but these are the doctors that Jennifer's talking about, where your solution is their vacation. What's the difference between God and a doctor?
What's the difference?
God doesn't think he's a doctor. Sorry, I couldn't resist. That was for that guy, not all doctors.
And I also just want to piggyback on that and say, also, when I was going through my chemotherapy treatments, I really had to take a hard look at my life and figure out what is happening, what is going on. And I had to let some relationships go, some situations fall away. And I had to hone in on what is my gift? What is my purpose? What is my footprint here in this life? And I had to hone that in and really redevelop my thinking. And that is like some of the processes that got me through my chemotherapy and what the track that I am on today.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah. So who are you then? I have a way of introducing. Sometimes I say, I don't have an answering machine. I have a questioning machine. And when you call me, it says, who are you and what do you want? So Jennifer Jones.
I want to think that part of my gift, not only for opening up the doors at Radio City for other Black women to have careers today as Rockettes, and perform and have children being able to look up on that iconic stage and see a mirror, a reflection, a representation of themselves, to know that they can follow any footpath that they want, no matter if it's a Rockette or a chef or an astronaut, that they can become anything that they want to be. Mm-hmm. My hope is to encourage and let other people know that they have a special gift. Even though it looks like we are all doing the same thing on this earth, mm-hmm. we each have our own special footprint and to give to this world, our own special shine. And we need to bring that forth, because if you don't, not only do you lose, but we as the community lose. Mm-hmm. So that is what I hope to bring to this life as well.
Yeah. Definitely. I picked the right person to preach to my choir today. We are all one of a kind wonderful. And I keep saying that. And people who think that their lives are nothing unless they are a rock star or a Super Bowl MVP, or, you're not getting it. This is our life, that dash. And you are one of a kind wonderful. And thank you, Jennifer, so much for emphasizing that truth. It don't have to be on stage to be one of a kind wonderful, but if you are, kudos to you. Don't let anybody stop you from living your life to know, all of our purposes, I think, is to be happy, joyous, and free. I don't think there's anyone that is an exception to that we all have a birthright to be happy. And to claim that is truly one of the best things about being alive today. And that's my soapbox. But I want to congratulate you. Another thing I'm going to pop up here. And I hope you're actually coming. Now that I think about it, this is going to be unveiled. Harlan just let me know that on February 19th to highlight the Black History Month. That is a wonderful way to, this is not the one. I'm going to go back and because he gave me this, you're all going to see my email now. I hope there's nothing incriminating on there. Here it is. Update. This is spectacular. This is the exhibit. The Joint is Jumping, the celebration of Black entertainers from film, TV, and song. February 19th at the Hollywood Museum. Are you going to be there?
I am.
You in person.
I am so excited to be a part of this exhibit, along with like Whitney Houston and Lena Horne and Denzel Washington. I cannot believe that that Harlan has asked me to be a part of this. It is simply amazing, and I will be there at the opening of February 19th at the Hollywood Museum.
I will see you on the red carpet.
Ah, good.
Yes, that will be so great. And yes, I'm going to put the moose on the table. I hear it just drives me crazy. 2 reactions to Black History Month. One is, well, what about this group? And we're not honoring this group or that group or this group. And it's like, okay, folks, the fact that this particular culture has not been recognized and elevated is why we're doing this, number one. And yes, we want to honor all, right? But we want to certainly start on those. And I love the fact that Black History Month talks to and showcases beyond those who maybe are well known in entertainment to inventors, like the math inventors, all of the science, the women, Black women in science, and all of that. And now I get to have the pioneer that broke the color barrier for African Americans on stage, right? Rockette's music, Radio City, Broadway, 42nd Street, all of those things. And so there. That's why we do it. So instead of complaining and rumbling, I hope that you're embracing. That's one way we're going to get to world peace, is instead of seeing differences as something to avoid, be suspicious, be distaste around, is to at least be curious. I'm not asking people to love things that they don't prefer, but to be curious and to open yourselves to learn about differences. That's my Happy 88 challenge. Those of you who want to take it on and post around that, I give prizes and Asian Oprah giveaways for those. So that's your challenge for the week. What have you learned about some cultures that you didn't know before? All right. We're coming up on the last stretch. If you've just tuned in, I forgot to do station ID again. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show. I'm glad that you keep thinking that's funny. It was an inspired show name, by the way, when I woke up at 4:30 in the morning. I'm so grateful. One to Gladys Knight, who has brought my impression number on my YouTube TV channel from 4.2 million impressions to 4.6. If you go to my Instagram, Doc Balance, you'll see the pinned video of Gladys Knight. I got to see her front row center and did this, which is my signature thing. And she did it back to me and I got it on tape and it's at 1.1 million views. And talk about a pioneer herself. I'm just so delighted. I'm so fortunate with all the things that I get to do. So first advice to any young entertainers, diversity and homogenous, what would you say is important to know when you get PR people, ignorant PR people who tell you things that are mean, whether they were well-meaning or not, they were more mean than well. How do you deal with the rejection that everybody talks about that's in, your field, in acting, all of that? Your advice.
Yes. So being in the entertainment industry, of course, when you go for auditions, there is going to be rejection. You're not going to get every job. Casting is very subjective. And I would encourage everyone to look at it as a learning tool, such as I did. I went to the Rockette audition to learn not to be so nervous and intimidated at auditions. It's a learning tool. As long as you keep trying, what you work for will never pass you by. It's if you don't try, it will pass you by. You have to put yourself out there. You have to get uncomfortable to be comfortable and to get to your dream. Now, everybody isn't going to be nice. Not everyone is going to like you. Not everyone likes me, and that's okay. Harsh words are going to come out, but it's a way of letting go and letting know that it's their insecurity and it has nothing to do with you. As long as you know yourself, know your goal, know your passion, know your worth, and going after it is all that matters. And have a good support group around you. Your friends, your family who believe in you, who love you. And if something does really bother you, you have that support system to really sit down and talk with someone about it. And it can be a therapist. Have a therapist that you can talk to. Like you mentioned at the beginning of the show, mental health is so important. Just like these Olympians, they sit down with a therapist and they have conversations, if it's a dual team, about how they think, how they work together, how are they going to get this prize of a gold medal. Have that support system, because life is full of challenges. We are all diamonds. And when a diamond is pulled out of the muck, it's cleaned, it's scraped, it's sanded, and those are the challenges. And every time a challenge comes, a beam is shot up of that diamond's beam, which is so bright. And so learn to work with it. Don't take anything personal, but keep going. Don't stop. Don't stop.
Yeah, that's great advice. I think when you were talking about, having someone to talk to and the role I see on your highlights, that your fourth grade teacher was someone that was very important to you. Tell us about that.
My fourth grade teacher came into the classroom one day and said, we are doing an end of school recital. The theme is the 1940s, and I need 6 lead people. And he picked me to be one of the leads, one of the shyest, quietest children in class, to be a lead in a show. And that required me to go to rehearsal before school, stay after school. I remember the day of the performance. The curtain is drawn. I take my place on stage, and I am nervous beyond belief. The music started, the curtain went up, and I felt like I was at home. I fell in love with the stage. It was amazing. And I came off the stage and I was that shy little girl again. But that experience, and teachers are so important, and the way they can really hone in and craft a child's imagination and their self-worth. Words carry so much weight. Mr. Giuliano changed my life, and knowing that the stage was my home.
Oh, that's beautiful. Have you told him that? Like, does he know?
He unfortunately has passed, and I did not get the chance, but I speak about him every chance I get, and I hope he hears my words.
Oh, I'm sure he does. I'm sure he does. Yeah, mine, interesting enough, was in grade 10. And his name was JJ Bristow, my math teacher. And he could tell that I was one of the 7 out of 10 of us who has had childhood trauma. And he kept me after school and he sat me down and he looked at me and said, "You can do anything you put your heart and mind to." And those words changed the trajectory of my life and who I was, and believing that, began that. I love the African American saying, when there is no enemy within, no one outside can hurt you. So what the sticks and stones, what people say about you, you don't have to believe it. But if you have a part of you that believes it, then it will hurt you.
Yes.
But if you can do the work that is obvious that Jennifer has done, I want to thank you for sharing that journey with us today. You can be anything and do anything. And I always look at it. I crouch down and look at a child whenever I see one and tell them that, much to the parents' sort of initial shock. But it's so important that we take the opportunity to inspire our youngins that way. John, let's see. I love hearing about the history. There is no mystery. Following your dreams is so powerful. Thanks. And thanks to you, John, for, weighing in on your 8 cents worth. And I'm just so grateful. Thank you so much, Jennifer Jones, for coming out in studio, sharing your story with us today.
Thank you so much for having me on your show. It is a pleasure speaking with you.
Absolutely. And if you do this with me right now, I do this to end every show. It's all about balance, peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. Thank you so much. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Don't forget, tomorrow is Wednesday, which means it's Doctors in the House with myself and Dr. Tiffany Tate. We're talking about relationships. Is it convenience, companionship, or more? So don't forget to tune in tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific time, live here on Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show. Now go and have, and one more pair of tickets I'm giving away to Don McLean. Bye, bye, Miss American Pie. February 7th at the Saban Theater. If you'd like a pair of those tickets, go to drmarissa.life, asianoprah.online, and I'll get those to you. All right, go and have the best day ever. I'll see you tomorrow.